Something that was reinforced in my sacred sexuality training earlier this year, no, last year, was a framework for asking for desires or expressing desires. This is something that I already did to a large degree in a lot of areas of my life, because I realized, without knowing I was PDA or that my son was, I realized that like neutral information and information that didn't have expectation attached to it was the most helpful for both of us. So I was already in the practice of just expressing what I want instead of like asking or expecting the other person to meet it necessarily. An example in a romantic situation would be, I would love to kiss you, instead of, can I kiss you? The training offered another layer to that I found extremely helpful, which was expressing the desire without expectation. You're expressing it just to express it because that's what you want, and you're also have done the work to be okay whether it gets met or not, right? Like no attachment. But the part that they kind of scaffolded was then asking, how do you feel about that? Instead of being in a position where they're expected to make a decision or meet the request, they are instead invited to reflect on how that actually lands with them, and it gives them an opportunity to like check in with themselves and their body and see if they actually really want that or how that feels for them. And that also creates a space for so many more nuances to come up rather than just yes or no. Like, yes, you can kiss me, no, you can't kiss me. It's like, I would love to kiss you. How do you feel about that? I feel a little bit intrigued, a little bit nervous, and this is the fear that's coming up for me, and blah, 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 right? Like, there's so much more space to expand, whatever, on what is actually happening for them. I understand so much more why this is the shit for me, because I've, for the most of my relational history, told my partners that I prefer if desires are just expressed rather than asking me to do something, because asking me to do something, I didn't have the language, like the understanding for it then. I just knew that I felt like defensive. And when they would just express that they wanted something, then I wouldn't. This, like, how do you feel about that? Game changer. Opens up doors for intimacy. It gives me safety. I'm regulated.